You smell that? Smells like 12-0, baby. Let's go. Undefeated. How you feeling, Nate?
I'm feeling good.
No, he's feeling tired. We're honestly really, really tired. I got home at like 2:30 last night. This guy was still awake, celebrating together, and now we're tired. But we're here. It's going to be a raw show. We're not going to have any guests other than you guys if you want to call in. It's going to be a little quickie, but we just wanted to come in here and really just celebrate the unbelievable night that occurred last night at the Coliseum in front of the worst band in the history of bands. I swear, I hate that song so much, and that's literally all they play all freaking night long. Dun, 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 dun. Who gives a crap? You're 5-7. Anything else to add on that intro?
I mean, I just like to say I was at church for the first part of the game, the first half, and I came back and they scored a touchdown right as I walked in the door. So.
I can't lie, man. This guy is the good luck charm. We were struggling in the first half. Nate went to church, came home, flipped on the game. He's texting me as I'm in the press box, and he's like, hey, I'm watching the game now. Boom, Dexter Williams rips that 53-yarder. Pretty freaking awesome, Nate. Good job, brother. We are going to take your calls. I see a few of you calling in already. That's great. Thank you. But we're going to just kind of talk a little bit first, and we'll kind of get going on the calls. Hi, Betsy, Dustin, Jason, Chris Pruitt's in the house, CJ Taylor, Thomas Daniel, Dustin, Matt McGinnis. It is not a catchy song, Matt McGinnis, our producer extraordinaire. It's definitely not a catchy song. It's literally nails to a chalkboard for me. It's probably because in the Pete Carroll era, when I went to that game, we got our butts handed to us every year, but not this year. This year's different. Last year was different. Currently, riding a 2-game winning streak against the hated ones. I know a lot of you guys in the Midwest think Michigan's our biggest rival. I definitely think it's Ohio State. All right, we're going to take a quick call. Why not? This is, like I said, we're kind of shooting off the hip here. Let's take a call here. Good morning. This is the Dose Leprechauns, Charlotte, North Carolina. Who's this? Chris Saxon in the house. How you doing, big buddy? I call this, for those of you listening right now, this is Chris Saxon. I call him the Louisianimal. He's a big old 6'5" Louisiana native.
Yeah, went to the 9 Inch Nails concert last night.
Oh, that's lovely.
Yeah, I had to go have a couple of cocktails to celebrate the Irish victory.
Yeah, I had a couple cocktails myself. In fact, big shout out to Justin Yoon's dad for literally pouring absolute vodka down my throat and providing a wonderful experience at the tailgate.
Wow.
So what's up, Chris? How you feeling, man? How you feeling today?
Feel pretty good. I'm glad I knew the game yesterday was going to be tough.
Yep.
I thought the boys played pretty well. I was a little disappointed that they let Texas score 17 points, but I've got a lot of confidence in Clark Lee and Chip Long. I think they're the best coordinators in the country right now.
Well, we're gonna have to open up the pocketbook here at the end of the season to make sure they don't leave like Elko did. Speaking of horrible defenses and horrible defense, well, I can't really say horrible defenses. Did you see LSU drop 72 on A&M last night?
Yeah, it still got beat.
Still got beat. They gave what's his name? What's the coach's name over there?
Orgeron.
Yeah, that guy. Ed Orgeron. They gave him the Gatorade shower a little bit too early.
Yeah, well, he should be. His record should be better than it is with the talent he's got. As you know, LSU has not had a quarterback in the last 6 to 8 years.
Right.
This Burrow kid is pretty good. He's a big boy, and he's a good football player, a good quarterback, and their defense is better than that. They've got a great defensive backfield at LSU, and they shouldn't allow 75 points to be hung on them. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, this is enough talk about teams with losses. Let's talk about an undefeated Notre Dame team. So, at what point last night did you kind of feel, Chris, that okay, now we got the momentum back. Now we're going to roll off some points here and get going?
Well, I mean, I was unable to watch the game. I've been watching some of the YouTube videos, but I just felt like Notre Dame had a really good plan going in, that they were focused and were going to be able to take Southern Cal out. The danger was that Clay Helton's probably going to be gone.
Oh, no doubt.
And when you got a coach whose job is on the line, the boys tend to gather and rally around and try to do everything they can to save it. And had they beaten us last night, I think they probably would have saved his job for a year. But, it is what it is, and we'll go on and we'll see who we play next, and hopefully it'll be Clemson. And so does Clemson play next week?
Clemson plays. Who do they play in the ACC championship game? I'll get back to you on that. That's a good question. Can our producer maybe look that up, please? We're going to find out and get you that answer here in a minute. I should know that. I apologize, but they'll definitely be in the ACC championship game, and we'll see how that shakes out. But, Chris, we got a couple other calls coming in, but I'll catch up with you a little bit later, buddy.
Sounds good. Thanks, Jason.
Go Irish.
Thanks, Nate.
Yep.
Go Irish, Nate.
Go Irish.
All right, so there was Chris Saxon from Louisiana. It was pretty cool. So last night in the press box, I was actually sitting next to two guys, actually four guys. Two guys were representing the Sugar Bowl. Two guys were representing the Orange Bowl, and it was really cool to hear some of their stories at halftime because I wasn't paying attention most of the time. I was just trying to not get kicked out of the press box. Okay. So Clemson will be playing Pitt, so we'll see how that shakes out. I'm pretty confident Clemson's going to take the dub there. Pitt will give them problems, though. What's that? Yeah, I was just saying Pitt's a good team. One thing that Chris said that I think is worth repeating and talking about, SC last night, I think that was the fastest team by far that Notre Dame played all year. Definitely they weren't playing as a team, and that's why they have 7 losses now. That's why they lost to us. Coaching, they had some very questionable coaching decisions on some of their offensive play calling. But from a talent perspective, there's a reason they were in the top 15 preseason rankings for most consensus polls. I mean, the guys have talent all over the place. You look at a guy like JT Daniels, 18-year-old quarterback out there. Technically, he's still supposed to be a freaking senior in high school this year. It's crazy, and he's out there slinging it around. I think he threw for over 300 yards. Amon-Ra St. Brown, who the Irish recruited, that is going to be public enemy number 1 for the Irish for the next few years, let me tell you. That kid can play, but he's got a chip on his shoulder. For some reason, the St. Browns kind of seem to have something against the Irish. I don't know what the deal is there. But that connection of JT Daniels to Amon-Ra St. Brown, whoever that next coach is at SC, because Clay Helton's getting fired, he's going to have 2 very talented players on his hands.
Yep. They just got to work on catching the ball.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff they have to work on, obviously, and they have to play as a cohesive unit. But the talent that you saw out there, you saw some of the defensive line really getting a good push against our very talented offensive line. So, it was scary, man. I was like, man, these guys really did come to play. The fans were into it at first. I kept tweeting about hope. I said, you can't give these guys hope. You can't let them hang around because if you give them time to hang around, they're gonna score some points. There was a few big turnovers. A couple of the admin on Dos Leprechauns were texting saying, I think all they worked on this year and on defense not this year, but this week, was stripping the football. Did you notice how literally every tackle they were trying to rip that football out every time? So, and it paid off a couple times.
Well, yeah, when you're down 10-0, you got to go.
That's right.
It doesn't matter what you're going to get from it. You just got to do it.
As we're getting some people making some comments here, I just want to give a huge shout out to one of our partner sites, the new Notre Dame Nation, TNNDN. Please give them a follow. Lynn, Cindy Hamill, Lisa Kelly, that whole group there. They were the ones that really helped us get these press passes and the field credentials. And that last night was like one of the most memorable nights of my life, aside from when these guys were born and when I got married. That was an unbelievable night to be there, to see the Irish clinch the 12-0 undefeated season. To be like within 10 feet of Tony Jones Jr.'s catch and score touchdown. Speaking of which, man, happy birthday, TJJ. That was an incredible way to celebrate your birthday. Yeah. Also want to give a huge shout out to our boy, Want to Win, put Dex in. Man, what can you say about that guy? Another rushing touchdown. He had 79 yards on the ground. I think he had 59 yards pass catching.
I think he had more on the
No,
ground.
he didn't. Scored a touchdown and just really... I was watching on the sidelines. There was several times where it seemed like there was a little bit of a lull in the Irish offense. Dex was walking up and down the sidelines, getting everybody fired up, and you could just tell that he wanted this game badly. His mom, Cheryl, shout out to Cheryl Bryant, was in attendance. She was excited. It was just such an amazing atmosphere. Being in the press box, I'll be honest, next time if we get press credentials, we're going to send somebody else up there, probably Big Nate here, because quite frankly, I'm not able to be a good boy up there, and you have to act professional, and that's just, I'm a fan first, guys. Again, if you guys want to call in, 951-206-9403 is the number. I'm going to drop that here in the comment section. Give us a call. Let's talk about the team. Let's talk about the season, turning points in the season. I think, I was at the bookends of this season, and I just feel so honored to have had that opportunity. The Michigan game, that's Dave. The Michigan game to start in South Bend, and then finishing the season in LA with a clinching 12-0 victory.
And Navy.
Oh yeah, we were at Navy too. So, but yeah, a lot of turning points this season. This team feels different. I know a lot of people are comparing it to the 2012 team. I feel like in 2012 we didn't really, other than like Oklahoma and maybe one or two other games, I don't think we really blew anybody out. Phone number is dropped in the comments, 951-206-9403. Give us a call. Talk about the game. Here we go. Here is Elkhart, Indiana calling in. Good morning. How we doing? Who is this?
Hey, what's going on?
Who is this?
This is Greg from Elkhart.
Greg, how you doing, buddy?
I'm all right. How are you doing, man?
Man, we're doing great. We're feeling undefeated with the capital ND in the middle.
Nothing better than that.
That's right. So, where'd you watch the game at last night, Greg?
I watched it at home with my wife, my children, and two good friends of mine.
Excellent. I love it. I love it. So, at what point did you go from putting down the Xanax bottle to popping the champagne?
That went pretty much all night long, honestly, but probably when Ian lowered that shoulder for the first down.
So I had an opportunity to interview Ian at the end of the game. I don't know if you had a chance to check that out. But I asked him about that. I said, hey, Ian, when you lowered your shoulder and just ran that poor defensive back over, do you feel like that was kind of a turning point? He goes, yeah. He goes, we really got some momentum after that. Got picked up the first down, and we were able to go into halftime only down 3. And then they came out, the first series, I think they went 3 and out. But they came out fired up, man. The defense was playing with a chip on their shoulder. I think Kelly got up in there and told them, hey.
I really believe, Coach Kelly just ripped them apart at halftime, and we just totally came out a different team.
Absolutely. Yeah, I'm telling you, I was just saying on the show here that this is a truly special team, man. Being around this group for a few games this year and getting to know some of these guys over the last few years, these guys want it more than any team I've ever been around, and they're a true. You hear this all the time; it's cliche, but they really are a brotherhood. I mean, these guys play for each other, and they play for the university. And I think that we're really going to. I saw some Vegas stuff out there saying if we play Clemson that we're going to be a 10.5-point dog. I think that is hilarious. And if you're a betting person, I would say take the Irish and the points and win some money. Let's put it that way.
Oh yeah, I believe with Dex and the Tranquilizer playing.
Oh, I like
my
it.
My 2 favorite players, hands down. I mean, we can't be stopped unless we stop ourselves.
That's absolutely right. That's absolutely right. Well, hey, Greg, I got a couple other people calling on. Thanks for the call, and go Irish.
All right, go Irish, baby.
Good morning. Who is this?
Hi, this is Eric from Long Beach, deep in SC country.
Yeah, buddy. We feel your pain, man. We need to rally together against these bums. How you doing this morning?
I'm doing great, man.
Were you at the game last night?
Unfortunately, no. I stayed home. My wife was out of town, so I had to watch my kids.
Bummer, man. That's a tough one. But you watched the game live, the whole thing?
Oh, yeah, every second.
What'd you think? How'd you feel?
Well, I go back east to Notre Dame every summer for the fantasy football camp. And in 2017, the thing that stood out to me was one of the guys who ran the gate for practice. He had been at that gate for 17 years, and he said the kids had never been this strong, this fast in June, ever.
Nice.
So last year I was expecting, 12-0, and we fell short, 9-3. But it's the same kids, same strength and conditioning, same different attitude than previous teams. They no longer show up thinking we're Notre Dame, people are just going to cower. They show up, they do their business, and they walk away with the W.
Absolutely.
They're professional, they're mean, they're strong, and they have depth. Their backups could play at other schools right now.
That's right. No, depth is key. I mean, you look at a lot of teams. We started the season with quite frankly, our starting quarterback on the bench and our starting running back on the bench. So you beat a team like Michigan with 2 guys that right now are basically second string. That's pretty impressive. And you talked about the depth. When you have 4 or 5 different lines that you can throw in there, almost like a damn hockey team switching in and out with your D line, you're going to have a lot of success getting after the quarterback, and I think we saw that all year.
Yes, we did.
So you go to fantasy camp every year, huh?
Yes, I do.
Okay, well, I am going to do everything in my power to join you finally this year. I don't care if sell a liver, sell a kidney, sell Nate, put Nate out there for hire, whatever we need to do. We're going to try to get out there in June this year.
Yeah, it's so much fun. It's as a lifelong Notre Dame fan, it was amazing how much behind the scenes you get to see the players as you're going out to practice. They're coming into films. As you're coming into films, they're going out to practice. You really feel like you're 19 and you're one of the nation's top football players when you go back.
That's awesome, man. Well, I hope to see you out there, Greg. Thank you very much for calling in, and we'll talk to you soon. Go Irish.
Later, buddy.
All right, dude. Did somebody else call other than that 233?
I think it was Dave Brooks.
Yeah. Sorry, Dave Brooks. Only Irish talk today, not whatever you want to talk about. Our producer's taking the calls today. We got no control over it. Anybody else want to call in? Nick Yoder. Oh, we got bidding going on for Nate. Nick Yoder, $25 for Nate. Do I hear 50? Can we get it? Let's get an auction going here. Send Jason to Fantasy Camp. We'll start the bidding at $25. Nick Yoder, sending Nate out. So again, like you said, guys, today's just kind of a raw show. We're just playing around. I got home at 2:30 last night. I do want to give another shout out. We gave a shout out to TNNDN and all they did for us to help us get those credentials. But I also want to give a shout out to your coach, Turnbull Tuli Sopo. I had an opportunity to spend a little bit in the evening with him and his son Solo, who was on the injured list. Couldn't play for the Trojans last night, but man, kid is an absolute freak. He won the Heisman for high school players in Southern California. He's the real deal, man. And it was cool to hang out with them, and he had some good things to say about the Irish. And Solo, if you're Turnbull, if you're watching, give us a call. Jason Lynch just offered 50. So did Matt McGinnis. Jim Gilmore said, "What kind of household skill does he have?" This is great. Yeah, not a whole lot. He's a good-looking kid, and he can play video games. He's a great video game player. So if you need like a level beat on Fortnite, oh wait, never mind. He's never got a Fortnite dub. My bad. Sorry, buddy.
I hate Fortnite.
Okay, well, any game you play, you can't get that dub anymore. Okay, anyway, let's move on. Let's get back to the Irish. So another thing that really stood out to me, last night in the first half was it seemed like SC really had a good game plan together in the first half, and they kind of abandoned it in the second. It's they're throwing these short passes to get Amara St. Brown into some space to make some plays, and then they just like abandoned it. It was like they just forgot about it. They were able to run the ball a little bit with a Cedric Ware, who, God, that's a good football player right there. Marquise Steep, who was actually a Notre Dame commit, and we still don't really know why, but he flipped and ended up going to SC. He had a pretty decent game, so they were able to move the ball a little bit. And again, that kind of goes back to that 4 or 5 star talent that they have all over the place at that school. Those guys can play some football, man. I mean, there's a reason that Notre Dame was recruiting a lot of these guys hard. Stanford's recruiting these guys, Bama in certain circumstances, but these are all guys that play out here in the West Coast, Southern California, against some of the best competition in the country.
About how you said with how the momentum changed, I think one big thing was when we went for it on 4th down and we converted. I think that showed a lot in Coach Kelly and trusting his team, because first half we didn't really do much. We didn't go for anything. Kind of an interesting decision at the end of the second quarter, but I mean, he was really aggressive at the beginning of the third, end of third.
That's a really good point. You don't see Kelly going for a lot on 4th down, but I think he understood the importance of the situation where we had to get something going, and he decided to go for it. Tyler Newsome had a 59-yard punt to pin the Trojans back in their own 10, 15, something like that. So yeah, it was really a cool thing for Tyler to go out there and really show out his final regular season game, because we all know we're going to the playoffs now. Give us a call, guys, 206-9403-951 area code. We don't have a guest today other than we want to hear from you guys. We were supposed to call some of our admin who I want to talk about here too. So last night, great night at the Coliseum, but I also want to give a huge shout out to the guys holding it down on the Dos Leprechauns Facebook accounts, Twitter accounts, Instagram accounts. That's Jason Lynch, Jason Pruitt, Pat McCormick, Wayne Smith, Matt Dunbar, and our newest addition, Mark freaking Edwards, one of our admin. How about that? We got a Super Bowl champion as one of our admin, and he's doing a great job responding to you guys and putting some unique perspectives out there. Also want to give a shout out to the fans that were not necessarily jumping off the ship, right, at halftime. I mean, was I scared? Hell yes, I was scared. Was I concerned? I mean, it was 10-7. We were down 3 to a very talented team who had a rough season, on the road, hostile environment, playing for their coach. So, yeah, concerned, maybe a little, scared, yeah. But, seeing the game from the press box, I could kind of tell that the momentum was starting to shift. And I truly felt that we were going to come out and really establish our will in the second half. The final score doesn't necessarily reflect what the final, 7-8 minutes that game was really like. Final score is 24-17. It was 24-10 with about, a minute 35 left. Quite frankly, man, they scored a junk touchdown. If you watch the last couple plays there on that offensive drive, they were Notre Dame's defense was playing very, not really soft, but they were playing the off coverage. They weren't jamming up the receivers. D-line wasn't necessarily blitzing on every play. So, could have been 24-10, but who cares? If we win by 1, I'm still happy. We're still undefeated. Yeah. So let's see. Sean Devine, in your opinion, how does Indy stack up to the other potential playoff opponents? I truly think that we stack up very, very well against Clemson. Let's take a look. They got a freshman quarterback. We just saw a freshman quarterback. JT Daniels, in my opinion, is more talented than Kelly Lawrence, Tracy Lawrence. I don't know the guy's name. The dude with the long hair that plays at Clemson. He's a friggin' 18-year-old punk. I feel like JT Daniels is a better quarterback than him, but Clemson does have that running back. Oh, God, Narcisse. I don't know these guys' names because I don't really care about any other team than the Irish. So whatever his name is, we're about to dominate.
And then we got to be careful of Hunter Renfrow, the Padres player.
He's not even on the team anymore.
Yeah, he is.
Anyway. Bidding's still open on this guy, based on that comment. The garbage TD blitzed on that down. Yeah, that's true. Let's see. But Michigan scores twice on plays right before the half against OSU. And that is what stuck in my mind last night, those final 2 minutes. That's right. I don't know who he's talking to. Etienne, that's right. That's the running back. Thanks, Sean Devine. Clemson, I think we stack up well. Their defensive line, obviously, is scary good. But our O-line is getting better and better. And think about it this way. Clemson's going to have to go play a tough game next week against Pitt. So on December 1st, they'll be playing while the Irish are sipping Mai Tai. Well, if they're over 21, hanging out. They're drinking Gatorade in their dorm room playing freaking Fortnite. So they'll be resting, relaxed. They'll have a long time. They'll have some film to really study up on. I fully expect Kelly, Lee, and Chip Long to have a great game plan put together. So I think we stack up really well against Clemson. Guys, let's be honest. Bama is on another level right now, but that's why they play the games. I mean, let's look at it this way. Did Ball State have any business hanging against Notre Dame in South Bend? No, not at all. But did they? Yeah, they did. Were they ever going to win? Not a chance. But my point to that is Notre Dame has as much talent as Bama, maybe not as deep and as much talent as Bama. But when you look at Bama play, they're so big, they're so fast, they're so well coached. They play a very aggressive style of football. Mm-hmm. But I feel like that's something that the Irish are going to be able to – well, let's get by Clemson first, and we'll have a conversation about Bama.
One thing I want to say about Bama is if we do play them, we need to start the game off strong because we've seen that they struggle in the first half.
That's true.
10-10 versus Citadel. Auburn, they were tied at halftime. It was like 14-14, something like that. And then after that, in the second half, they just turned it on.
Got Grand Rapids, Michigan calling in. Let's see who this is. Good morning. Who is this? Good morning. Those Leprechauns. Who's this?
Hey, guys. It's Michael Barrage from Michigan.
Hey, what's up, Michael? How you doing, buddy?
Oh, man. Jason, that picture of you on the sidelines, I'll see that, and I'm just like, how in the world did Jason get on the sidelines?
You know what? The funny thing about that is I was thinking the same thing. They let this guy go on the sidelines. Are they crazy?
Well, it's great to be 12-0. I'm the biggest critic of where we're at. But, we started the game in prevent defense. Once we went back to our normal base standards, we pretty much shut them down, and we gave them 7 points.
What do you think? Do you think that was by design? Do you think that was by design? They wanted to play prevent, or do you think it was kind of a, hey, we've seen them do these things here, and it's just something they wanted to mix in?
Well, the worst enemy of USC has been their quarterback. He's obviously a good quarterback. There's no doubt about it.
Yes.
But I think based on the USC film, my guess is that they kept thinking he was going to overthrow or underthrow, and they were going to get a pick. That just didn't happen. He just kept picking them apart. And I wish they would have changed that a little bit earlier, but they did not. Eventually, we changed it. The one thing we have to do is now knowing we're 12-0, we have to really focus on, just defeating who's in front of us because we can't play like we did yesterday or against Ball State. We just got to play. We got to play at that same level because we definitely have a lot of team speed. I think a great. What lifted us yesterday to another level was when the defense had to. We sacked him twice in one series. Yeah. And we just shut them down. This was their real reality check, and they just went nowhere. You saw 4 linemen that are faster than any lineman we've had since the '88 team, or at least the '93 team.
Yeah, you know what, and I think you made a great point. When they had to get that sack, they did twice in one series, and It was crazy because when you think about it, that's a hostile environment no matter how you swing it. You can tell me OSU. You can tell me USC is 2-10, 1-11, 0 and whatever. Throw the records out the window when two rivals like that play each other, and especially when you're talking about the level of talent these guys have. Those O linemen that they had out there are still 4 or 5-star guys across the board. So for our defense to in the fourth quarter, really sack up and get after it, pin their ears back and get after it and get the quarterback twice really says something about the tenacity of this team.
Coach Holtz used to always say, and it never made sense to me until down the road. He said he always looks at it as how bad are we capable of playing, us being Notre Dame, and how good are the opponents capable of playing. The players on the USC football field, they can start for any team in the country. Those players are not your average players, and you saw kind of a tiny bit of what they're capable of doing, and scary what they may be doing in the future. But the bottom line is that we walked out of there. We're 12-0. We have a long way to go to be where we're at, but we're 12-0. You learn that with winning. You don't learn it with losing.
That's right.
And a perfect example is that LSU. They are a very good team, but in 2 crucial games, they realize that they're not a championship team to pull it out. So I'm just excited to be 12-0. And we're going to see you on the sidelines in Miami?
No, unfortunately not. We won't be able to make the trip. So, yeah, if the Irish get by whoever they play, which I believe to be Clemson, on December 29th in Miami, we will definitely be going to Levi Stadium for the national championship game. So.
What was your take? I'll tell you. What was your take on the fact that Dexter Williams? We know he's our guy. By the way, that was just a great video you had, Dex. Is that it seemed going back to the Michigan game when we didn't have Dexter?
Mm-hmm.
It seemed like the two other guys really yesterday just went to work. I mean, they really became starting running backs, so to speak. Just when they had to step up, they did. And I mean, that really, for me, I think that helps us against the next future opponent, because now they're not just stopping Dexter Williams. Now they have a force of 3
That's right.
potential NFL players they have to stop.
Well, not just that, but look at it this way. You got Dexter Williams, who's clearly your bell cow. You got Jafar Armstrong, who, while Dex was out, was kind of carrying the load. You got Tony Jones Jr., who was one of the better blocking running backs in the nation, and obviously can catch because he had that catch and run last night to really seal the deal. And then you still have Avery Davis, who we haven't seen a lot from, who's shown some flashes. And then let's throw out the X factor. Let's be honest. We're going to have 4 weeks to find a way to get an electric athlete and Brandon Wimbush on the field against whoever we play. So you're going to have 5 freaking guys that, quite frankly, you're going to have to game plan for that can really make plays anywhere on the football field.
Yeah, well, I definitely agree, and it's
going to be fun.
It's a great position to be in, but
yeah,
I sure hope we get Clemson.
I do too, man.
In order to get to the Alabama level, we'd have to win a semifinal game.
In my opinion, this team is better than the 2015 team that went down to Death Valley in a friggin' monsoon and came within 3 inches of beating Clemson. This team's better than that team, and I don't think this Clemson team is as good as them. They don't have a Deshaun Watson at quarterback. So what I'm getting at here is they're going to be playing on a neutral site with the freshman quarterback, a nasty defensive line, and a really good running back. But we have all the pieces in place to beat a team like Clemson on a neutral field. So I love our chances in that game because we're going to travel well.
I do too. One of the big differences between the Notre Dame teams of the past, basically going back to '93, this is the best secondary we've had, and they're not just a good secondary; they're recognized. They're talked about on all the shows, and I mean, they are a very good secondary. So passing on us is quite a bit more difficult than it would have been in 2012. And I agree with you. You saw yesterday one of the things that USC did. They were really passing the short passes against our linebackers. They weren't challenging the safeties. And you saw why in the later half when they had to pass.
Mm-hmm.
What happened.
Yep.
I mean, our secondary hits too. I mean, how many times did they hit some people and, man, you felt it from your seat in your living room.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, guys, keep up the great work.
All right,
Go Irish.
Thanks for the call. Go Irish. We'll see you soon.
Always an honor to talk to you guys. You and Nate. See
you too, sir. Take care. Bye-bye. Thank you. Yeah, I just want to thank everybody for the calls today. Do we have another one come in? Nope, still Dave Brooks. Sorry, Dave, not going to happen today. We're too much to be excited about with Notre Dame, and you're go Irish. We don't need to hear it. So, anyways, what else? So, yesterday, okay, Nate, here we go. Player of the game on defense. Who you got?
Alohi Gilman.
I like that. That's a good one. I would say it's a combination of either Alohi or Julian Love, who I think ended up with 12 solo tackles. Julian Love, he is the best tackling secondary player in all of college football. He will make every open field tackle, and that's going to be huge against teams like Clemson and Bama or whoever we end up playing, because those guys, you got to be able to wrap up. Alohi, he is just ferocious out there. He literally reminds me of a quicker Manti Te'o of lore. And just to see him out there flying around, he really is the flying Hawaiian, man. He got sorry, Robbie Toma. I know you're watching right now, and I apologize, but come on, man. Give your Hawaiian brothers some love. That's the flying Hawaiian right there. Jerry Kennedy's with us, said have to get healthy and get the O-line firmed up. Yeah, that's right. I saw Trevor Rulin limping around a little bit last night. Looks to be okay. We'll wait for Coach Kelly's presser. For those of you that haven't heard, the Irish are going to take a week off. No practice, no lifting, nothing like that for about a week. Let them rest up, enjoy a 12-0 undefeated, not a single loss, not a single blemish season, and then they're going to get back to work and get ready for whoever the next victim is. See, Coach Gamboa is watching. What's up, Coach? What's different about the playoff versus the BCS is we have the chance to play a team like Clemson, and if we beat them, then we play Bama and have some confidence going into that game. That's a great point, Sean Berry. Thanks for bringing that up. Justin Knox, that's another guy. This guy right here knows his football. They ate us up in soft coverage early. That's for sure. Jim Gilmore said, Matthew, Robbie, go Irish. Let's see. Lynn Clark. Hey, Lynn. It was a pleasure sharing the press box with you yesterday. Lynn Clark does some great coverage for Irish Illustrated and actually for us as well on Dose Leprechauns. Who else we got here? Susan Costello said, did anyone think they were going to put Wimbush in last night at one point to change it up? Absolutely not. We got another call. We'll answer this. Nope, I guess we won't. Susan, I don't think there was any chance of Brandon Wimbush coming in at quarterback last night. I was waiting for him to take off the headset and get his running back cleats on and get in there and get a little spin there. But, right when I was thinking that, Dex rips off that 52-yarder for the score. I would say my player of the game on defense is Julian Love. Offensively, I think you got to go with Tony Jones Jr., and I'll tell you there's two reasons why I say that. You could always give it to Dex, obviously. I think Dex might just be the offensive MVP this year. But when you look at Tony Jones Jr., I saw several times when SC was bringing the blitz, he would pick up the blitzing safety at the last second to save Book. And then obviously the catch and score toward the end there. Had some good solid runs. So my game ball on offense goes to Tony Jones Jr., the birthday boy from yesterday. Justin Yoon, clutch field goal. Dude, that thing was hanging up there for a while. I was like, is that going to go in? And then sure enough, doink, went in. So yeah, you getting it done again. What else, Nate? What else you got? We're going to jump off here in a sec. Anybody else want to call in? We got a phone line open. There's talking about Coach. What? Oh, a buddy of ours, Ralph Valadares, said that they're talking about the Washington coach maybe being the new USC coach, Chris Peterson. I would be jealous. Well, not really. I love Coach Kelly more than anybody, but Chris Peterson's a hell of a coach. If he comes to SC, it's going to make things very interesting in the next couple matchups against the hated ones. That's a good football coach right there. Justin Knox said, Book is a cool cat under pressure. Damn right. Jason Lynch, my game ball is the whole team. Absolutely. We posted that on Dose Leprechauns last night that the game ball goes to the entire 2018 team for just an incredible ride, man. I mean, I knew at that Michigan game that just the way they played as a team together, the way they came out just so fired up that this team was going to be different. And sure enough, 12 wins later, and here we are talking about Notre Dame in the playoffs, and nobody can deny us because it's not going to happen. Even what does it say? Peterson, not Jerry Kennedy says. Okay, well, we'll find out. Miguel Fouts, Mo's watching with us, so we'll see. Sorry about that, man. I know you're a USC and Notre Dame fan, but we know how that turned out. So Nate, anything else before we sign off here? We got a phone line open. We'll keep it open for another 2 or 3 minutes. 951-206-9403. Jerry Kennedy, if you're watching, why don't you call in and talk about the Chris Peterson rumor? Anybody else want to call in and talk about the 24-17 beatdown last night or anything else for that matter? Call in. Why are you shaking your head, producer to the stars? Okay. Fowler last night was terrible. When is he not? I can't stand the ABC crew, but not just that, but the commercials just go on forever. So Let's see. I was anticipating seeing a QB change last night after the Irish run game was getting stopped, and the pass game wasn't as effective early on. John P. Bell, I totally disagree. I don't think there's any chance you would have seen a QB change. Book is our guy, barring any injury. Knock on wood. Please say a prayer, rosary, all that he doesn't get hurt or anything else here in the next couple weeks. You're not going to see a quarterback change even if he comes out slow. You got to stick with your game plan, and that's what they did. I think, a lot of the armchair quarterbacks want to say, "Oh, bring in Wimbush," and don't get me wrong, I'm a huge Wimbush fan, but it was not time to make a change. Mm-hmm. What do you think?
I mean, I think just stay with your guy because then, Wimbush is going to come in. Yeah, he's excited, but the rest of the team is going to be like, oh, now I have to block for Wimbush, and you've been blocking for Book the whole game. So it's kind of like.
And you've worked the entire week to get ready for Ian Book as your quarterback. Brandon and Ian play a fairly similar game. Obviously, Ian whips it around a little bit better, but you don't just go the whole week and prepare for Ian Book as your quarterback, and then he didn't throw a pick until late in the game, so it's not like he's turning the ball over. He got off to a slow start, and you got to credit USC's defense, man. I told you guys, a lot of people are saying, 49-17, 42-10, whatever. Nah, man. SC's always going to play us tough other than 2017 when they got their doors blown off. But typically that's going to be a really competitive game, and it's exactly how I thought it was going to go, honestly. I've seen a lot of these guys that play for SC play in high school at the highest level, and a lot of them were recruited by Notre Dame, so we knew they were going to bring the heat. So anyway, let's see. Like Bama did against Citadel, all teams do it. That's a good point. Steve Croucher just said, like Bama did against Citadel, all teams do it. Bama were they losing at one point to the freaking Citadel?
No, they were tied.
Is that like the junior college for the freaking Army? What's the Citadel, Matt? What is the Citadel? I didn't know the Citadel had a football team, and Bama's, God, don't get me started on Bama's schedule. People want to talk smack about Notre Dame's schedule. We have probably 7 to maybe 8 teams that are going to be bowl eligible. Bama played the friggin' Citadel last week. Give me a break.
Not last week. It was like a couple.
No, it wasn't last week. It was the week before. Yesterday they played Auburn.
The Military College of South Carolina.
Oh my! Get out! Stop it. We got to end on that note. Alabama played the Military College of South Carolina. What? Anyways, and then people want to talk about Notre Dame's strength of schedule. We played freaking Michigan, they got destroyed by OSU. We played Northwestern at Northwestern, Pitt. Virginia Tech, Syracuse, who had a really nice win against Boston College last night.
A huge win.
USC at USC. Don't tell me this crap, they were down. They're still the same athletes. They just had a bad year because of coaching. Still a quality opponent. Get out of here with that noise. Who else am I forgetting that we beat today or this year? Stanford, exactly. We beat friggin' Stanford handily, and I think Stanford put it on UCLA last night, who put it on USC the weekend before. So when you look at the strength of schedule, you can't just look at the strength of schedule. You also got to look at strength of record. And if I remember seeing a stat correctly recently, we got to get these stats for the next show, but I think they're like top 10 in the Notre Dame's top 10 in the nation, and as far as their schedule goes, in strength of schedule and strength of record. So that's impressive.
Yeah, and Clemson plays a lot of the same teams we do. Syracuse,
right.
Wake Forest.
That's true. Pitt coming up.
Yeah. So.
It would be kind of funny, though, to see the chaos that would ensue if somehow Pitt beat Clemson next week.
Awesome.
Let's talk about that real quick. So top 4 right now on Tuesday is probably it's going to be Alabama, Clemson, Notre Dame. Who's going to be in that 4 spot? I could see Oklahoma sliding in there.
I would think, I'd say Georgia stays in there for now, and then they play Alabama, get smacked. And then probably if Oklahoma wins, then Oklahoma.
So you think a top 4 finishing of Bama, Clemson, Notre Dame, and Oklahoma?
If Clemson loses to Pitt, then
that would be hilarious.
Alabama, Notre Dame,
Georgia.
If
Georgia will
loses,
lose,
then Oklahoma at 3, 4 is maybe Ohio State. Right. They might put UCF in there.
All right, so we're going to get ready to sign off here. I am still on cloud 9. I don't know how I'm going to be able to. I literally couldn't sleep last night. I got home at 2 in the morning, didn't go to sleep till like 4. It was a surreal night for so many different reasons. You guys have no idea the rage that I have for SC. And then for them to be that close, and I thought God was playing a cruel trick on me, but the big guy upstairs came through just like the team did. Huge shout out to all the guys on the team, all the parents. Had a really unique opportunity to spend some time tailgating at Joe Schmidt's family's tailgate yesterday before the game, and you could just tell this not only are the players tight, but the parents are all tight. They're out there having a great time, praying together, all these things. It was just really a great thing to see. The pep rally the night before was packed. Corey Miner brought the house, Joey Getherall, Sam Bush, Joe Schmidt. can't remember the other guy's name. Utupo was out there. Big shout out to our boy Jesse Utupo for a great season at Milliken. But yeah, just huge shout out to the players, the coaches, the parents, but also to the fans, man. You know, you heard a lot this year about the fan support, and we really do have the best fan base in the nation. Just please, guys, keep it together when things aren't going great. Don't jump off the ship, man. Obviously, it's not, nobody's ever going to play a perfect season. For crying out loud, Bama played the friggin' military institution of South Carolina, and we're losing. So things are going to happen sometimes. You got to just roll with it. Stick with your squad. Stick with your coach. Stick with your players, unless you're Clay Helton. And ride it through, man. Obviously, it turned out great, and I really think, you know, Kelly has something really built here. Look at the recruiting class. We're going to have a top 10, maybe even top 5 recruiting class in 2019. He's actually hitting the road to recruit as we speak. Another shout out to Chris Kelly, Coach Kelly's, I guess, sister-in-law. I got to hang out with her, and she's just, their family's amazing too. Notre Dame's spirit is alive and well, and I really look forward to the fans and the players and the parents and the coaches carrying us on to a victory in the playoffs and seeing where things up in the national championship game. Mm-hmm. With that, I'm going to sign off. Nate, you got anything else before we're done?
I'd be on PS4, seen it 15 times. You know what it is.
Contest is still open on our Dill Leprechauns Facebook page. Check us out there. If you invite somebody on the post where we talk about the contest, you'll have an opportunity to win one of these beautiful hand-painted signs by our sponsor, Madmore Creations. Also, if you want to get your beard looking tight like me and our producer Matt have, check out Mahoney's Beard Brew from our boy Sean Mahoney. We'll be coming back with a show each week leading up to the playoffs. We'll try to get some guests. If not, we'll take your calls. Call in. Don't be shy. Have some fun. Talk some Notre Dame football. We're going to start doing a segment where you can actually email us your questions beforehand. We'll ask them on air. But yeah, check us out on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube. We have a YouTube channel now. All of our shows go directly there. I'm going to be posting some videos from the game last night that I haven't posted yet on the YouTube channel. And again, want to thank all of our admin for all the work they do. It's been a great season, man. It's been wonderful. Regular season's over. Time to crank it up for the playoffs.
Yep.
With that, everybody go Irish. Have a great Sunday, blessed holiday, and we'll see everybody soon.
Playoff season.